As captain, one thing I struggled with on my journey from Canada to the Bahamas and back is making decisions. Years ago, when I dreamed up this adventure, I would spend days and days looking at charts, doing research, watching sailing videos. I could never really find much about making decisions in these sailing videos online. I was always trying to imagine what it would really be like out here. Now that I'm heading back, and this season is almost over, I've realized one thing. You always have options. Trust your guts. It's kind of like standing on the edge of a cliff, and you have to jump. Every time you hoist your sails and leave a port, anything could happen. In the last few videos, Mark and I had been in Ocean City, Maryland. We finally left, plotted course for Cape May in rough seas, and that's in this video. I remember getting to New York heading for the Bahamas, and I kind of passed by this part of the coast. And what a lot of people don't know is there's the INTRAcoastal and there's the INTRAcoastal, an inside passage through New Jersey to New York City. And Mark and I had no option but to take this inside passage. I could tell Mark really didn't like being out there in the big seas, something that I've grown accustomed to, sailing 10,000 nautical miles. So we gave it a shot.
Seas have increased. Pretty crazy out here, actually. Mark's got his sail up. Wow, look at that, eh? He's got just this Genoa out. He's doing like faster than I am. Anyway, we only got 14 nautical miles left, and we'll be out of this little hectic out here right now. It's not that fun. It's pretty crazy, actually. Be glad to get in. I'm going to reduce sail a bit. This is a bit hectic right now. We're doing 7 knots, so.
It was a pretty swelly passage to Cape May. Once you go in the entrance there, on the port side, there's a bunch of anchorages right there, and we ended up anchoring just past the Coast Guard station. There's like a little deep area where you can drop your hook.
We are in Cape May. We made it. What a day. That was crazy. The waves were really big and it was pretty scary. Anyway, we made it here. Wasn't that far of a journey. Only 38 nautical miles. And it looks like we got a window to get to New York in the next few days. So I think what we'll do is we're not going to stick around too much here in Cape May. We'll leave in the morning. So that's it. I'm gonna have a beer and make some food. It was just too crazy, the waves. I just couldn't go down below, and you know, you start feeling sort of seasick if you go down below too long in those sort of wave conditions. So that wasn't that fun. Anyway, we're good here now, and we got to move on to Atlantic City. Atlantic City is a great place for provisioning, anchoring, weathering out storms, that sort of thing. Here's not that great, just because, you know, we're in this little weird area here and it's really shallow here. Mark's doing okay, and that's it. So let's see what happens in the morning. We are sailing. We just pulled the anchor up and I already got the engine off just because it's the perfect day. Got a boat coming through here. It's good deep mud here, like clay even. Look at that mud. Oh yeah. Here we go. Hello. Look at that. You gotta love Cape May. Look at all these boats anchored. Oh, beautiful. So it looks like a good wind. Looks like we got some good wind coming at us for today. Beautiful. Mark's way back there. He's pulling up his hook right now. I'm just gonna take my time with the sails up. Look at that, beautiful. All right, I'm so excited. Let's get into Atlantic City. This is gonna be amazing. Atlantic City, the Las Vegas of New Jersey. Let's do it. Alrighty, it's around, I think it's like 9:30 now, and we're about 15 nautical miles into the trip, and the wind has died off, so I got the engine on. As you can see, it's really sloppy. We're averaging 4 knots right now, just because there's probably maybe 6 knots of wind. And pretty far offshore. You can see the shoreline from here. So Atlantic City is 26.7 nautical miles away. All right, it says here that we're gonna get there around 4:30 at this point. The wind was supposed to pick up this afternoon. I don't get it, so maybe it will in a bit here. But for now, I've just been sitting, sort of lying down, watching YouTube videos, doing my thing. I just pop my head up and look every once in a while and see what's going on. Really not much out here. There was some fishermen fishing ships, and there was a bunch of big old like power vessels, but they're long gone now. They can cover distance quickly. So not the best conditions, but we do with a bit more wind here. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like around, we'll get into Atlantic City around 4 and get anchored. All right. Okay, so if you look off, see that massive building that's ahead of us? That's one of the casinos. All right, so we can officially see Atlantic City. We got to go around that building and anchor in front of it, essentially. Okay, and we'll be past that building. That building's on the waterfront. That's Steel Pier, the famous Steel Pier in Atlantic City. So yeah, it's gonna be great. We'll be there. We got, I think it's 15 nautical miles left, another 3 hours.
Is there a marina right close to us somewhere?
The cheapest marina in New Jersey, yep, is right there. It's like $60 a night or something.
And it's right close to where we're gonna anchor.
Oh yeah, it's like a 5-minute dinghy ride.
Yeah, I'm trying to schedule a diver to scrape the bottom and change the sink.
There you go. Right on. Okay. Well, we're gonna get in there. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm worried that that zinc, that dude told me way back in Charleston that I needed to change the zinc the next time, and I'm worried that that zinc, if it wears off, we're gonna have all kind of problems.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm gonna pull my sails in right now while I got time to mess with it. There's no damn wind, and this right here is doing nothing to beat the hell out of the equipment. So
Yeah, there's no wind. Nothing. I mean, it's helping me, but it's probably adding a little bit to me. I'm gonna leave them up until the very end, but yeah, I'm actually gonna increase throttle a little bit. Look at that, Atlantic City, we're here. Anchored. So the last time I was here, I dragged under that bridge and got caught under the bridge there. You can watch that video by clicking the link in the top right screen. Yeah, so we were gonna anchor together, Mark and I, but it's just, I'm a little bit sketched out with what happened last time. So we'll wait for a couple tidal cycles and that's it. So I'm gonna go look at the weather and see what's going on for tomorrow and enjoy a night's rest. That was a good 10-hour sail. We did 40 nautical miles and we're here in Atlantic City.
This afternoon. Areas of fog this morning, then patchy fog this afternoon. Near steady temperature in the lower 70s. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Becoming east this afternoon. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, showers likely with a slight chance of thunderstorms.
Good morning. It's the first day here in Atlantic City and it is a foggy one out. You can barely see anything. It's a bit of swell here, so all night long I've been sort of rocking side to side. You see what it's doing? It's kind of going like this. So it looks like there's a bit of weather coming in. Could be thunderstorms later tonight. So we're gonna stay here today and get a couple things done. Right now it's Friday, so the good thing about Atlantic City is there's a relatively cheap marina that's just in there. The Golden Nugget Hotel is over there, and it's relatively cheap. I stayed in there last time I was here, and the last time I was here I was a rookie. I didn't know what I was doing. I had 40 feet of chain and 300 feet of rope rode, and I was anchored roughly where Mark's boat is right there, and there's a big bridge past there. You can't see it because of the fog right now, but in the middle of the night the rope rode got wrapped around my keel and the tide was really ripping and it started to drag towards the bridge, and I woke up, the anchor alarm went off. I woke up in the middle of the night. I remember the first thing in my mind was like, oh, I'd love to make some coffee before we fix the anchor. I realized that we were really close to the bridge, and before I knew it, I just cut the anchor line with a knife and I got caught under the bridge. You can watch that video by clicking the link in the top right screen. Man, it was not, it was a good learning lesson. You know, it cost me a small fortune to fix the top of the mast and replace all the instruments. And I sat as the top of the mast like banged into the bridge. It was horrible, waiting for the tide to go down. And eventually the Coast Guard came and they didn't really want to do anything. They were worried about the mast breaking and falling down on them, so they just said they couldn't do anything. Eventually an American dude came by. He said, give me your halyard. And he pulled my halyard and the boat went like this and I got off. But just then, I'd put a buoy on my anchor line so I didn't lose it. That buoy got tangled in my prop and I was hanging by. It was horrible. Anyway, things happen when you're sailing, and that was a bit of a horrible day. I learned a lot since then. You know, I've been down to the Bahamas and back. And anyway, check that video. It's really cool. It was when I was a rookie, and I guess I still am a rookie. So there's a lot of oil in the water. There's a lot of garbage in the water, as you can see here. Plastics, look at this. So Atlantic City's not that clean of a place. It smells like a hotel lobby, even right here. Sort of like people's breath, and like it smells like a hotel lobby because there's so many big old hotels and casinos and stuff over there. Anyway, it's a nice place, and we are really close to New York. It's gonna be great to get into New York City. So what I'm gonna do is relax a little bit and we'll probably see what happens. All right. I don't know if this is a good idea, but we're gonna try it anyway. We're gonna take the inside, the Intracoastal Waterway north to Barnegat Light, and that'll give us some sort of advantage. It's just too foggy and too crazy to go out on the ocean right now. It would be risky. My AIS isn't working, so we need to be really careful here. So let's do what we can here.
From all the information I could gather online, doing the Intracoastal with a 6-foot draft can be tough. But I've talked to sailboats that have done it. So in this instance, we decided to take the risk rather than go out on the ocean in deep fog. and make our way to Barnegat Light.
You'll have to forgive me, guys, having an issue with moisture with this GoPro. It's the last one I got. Well, that's not true, but it's the best one I have. All right, so 13 feet of depth, and it says 11 on the charts, and we're just before low tide. All right, so heavy fog, and as you can see, it tightens up quite a bit heading up towards where we're going, which is Barnegat Light. And everything online says not to do what we're doing because of the issue of depth. All right, so will we make it? Stick around. I don't know. I'm gonna try. We can always turn around. It's the moment I get, it's gonna be low tide at 11, and it's now 10:22. So we will have low tide, and then the tide will be pushing us on to where we're going, I hope. So we had no choice. The outside's really foggy. My AIS isn't functioning, so I'm just concerned about a few things. So I thought the best, safest route would be on the inside, to give it an attempt anyway. The distance between Atlantic City and Barnegat Light, which is a questionable inlet that I don't think this boat should go into. The next one is Belmar Beach, and Belmar Beach has a lift bridge that's only operated until 8 p.m. I believe, and it's very limited space in there. You know, if we got caught out in later on today, there's going to be gusts into the 30-knot range out there with big waves. So I think this was the right thing to do. We'll see. It's kind of cool. You know, we're going through the fog here and making our way slowly. Mark's behind us on Arabella, and we will. Hopefully we'll make it. Let's see what happens here.
As we made our way up the Intracoastal towards Barnegat Light, it got shallower and shallower, and eventually we ran aground.
Yep, so we're dead low tide right now. That's what's going on. So we'll get 4 feet of depth. We will get off eventually, but it's going to be later in the day, so we're at 3 feet 1. Jesus. All right, all you can do is relax. I got the anchor out and under tension, just so when the tide does come up, it'll pull me this way rather than deeper in. So that's it. All right, let's relax. Wow, we are aground. So that's okay. I knew it would happen. And the Mark's over there, and we're at roughly 3 feet of water. So anyway, tide's gonna be coming in the next hour. I'm just gonna relax for a bit and we'll get off. That's it. So I managed to get off, but now Mark's stuck and I'm heading back there. Let's go see what's going on. We're not even that far from where we were. I can see Atlantic City right there. I mean, we need to decide if we're gonna just turn around and go back. I don't think it's a good idea that we go any further. I don't know. We're gonna find out in a second here.
We were back down by that marker down there. I was anchored right by that green can.
I don't know if it's a good idea if we go any further. I mean, we're gonna get 3 feet higher. There is another outlet just past here. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think the depth on up forward from here is going to be okay. This is that spot dude was talking about. He said he showed good depths other than right here.
Okay, well, the tide is going up, so we should be off. Like, you know, give it another half an hour, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if I could spin around, I think I need to be, but this is where I ran aground. I ran over. I was right behind you in your track, and I ran aground right here. I mean, that's what I said. I think there's little mounds down there, and you dodged it, and I hit one.
Well, let's just give it a bit of time for the tide to come up a bit, and I see your anchor's still in the water. I guess that's nothing to do with it. Just hanging down, right?
Yeah, I got it just right up close that way in case I needed to drop it again quick.
All right. I don't know. All right, so 6 feet 5 here. This is such a bad idea. It's just not a good idea. Anyway, there is an outlet that way, and we're gonna go. According to the notes, it gets better in a bit here. So let's see what happens. Jesus. I think I see what you're seeing. We're trying to find an anchorage right now. Hey, like getting around here. All right, I think I know where we need to go, and I think we'll be all right there. Hey Mark, I think we need to go just a little bit more to our port side and up a bit in the middle there. It's not a marked area for, you know what I mean? It's not marked as a channel, and I think I know where you're at now.
Agreed, yeah, it's a cut right between Fish Island and 7 Island, and that cut right through here, we can anchor anywhere right in here.
Yeah, copy. Let's do that. I think I know what you mean now. And if we do get struck by another vessel, we can say we're not in the channel, so which isn't gonna happen. I'll leave my flasher on tonight as well. All right, after a long day of running aground everywhere in the fog, we're still in the fog, and the ocean's actually right there, so the swell's coming at us. We're gonna go up here on the left and drop the hooks and buddy boat together, and tomorrow we're gonna go out of this sketchy inlet here out onto the ocean in 15 knots of wind and get all the way to Belmar Beach. All right, so jeez, 11 feet. We just got to get up in here. I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense. All right. 9 feet. Stop. Bloody radio. I ran out of battery again. Yeah, 7 feet. I gotta stop. What a crazy day. Holy. This fog has been killing us all day long. Believe it or not, we only made it, what, 12, 15 nautical miles today? Oh my God. It's what it is. The ocean's right there. We can get out tomorrow, so. I think it's time for a beer.
Join us next week as we continue up the New Jersey coast on the INTRAcoastal Waterway. If you really like this sort of content, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You can join my Patreon, the link is in the description down below. In the next video, we get into Barnegat Light, and it's a really interesting port and a scary one. We have to get the Coast Guard to escort us out. That's how bad it is. So it's a really interesting video next week on Sunday at 8:45 a.m. That's it for this video. Captain Michael signing out.